In 1979, Juarez Hospital stands as a decrepit institution of shadows and whispers. The corridors line up like endless arteries, lit by flickering fluorescent bulbs. The hum of machines and distant intercom crackles fill the stale air. Among tapestries of peeling paint, a legend emerges. La Planchada, a ghostly nurse who haunts the night shift. Once compassionate, this nurse met a tragic end. Some say she committed suicide in sorrow. Others whisper she slaughtered the medical staff who wronged her. Now her apparition roams, enforcing strict, cryptic rules on unwitting staff. Never neglect a single duty. Never sleep, not for a heartbeat. Never fraternize with staff. Always remain razor-sharp. Cross her path, or break the rules, and fate becomes gruesomely inevitable. Enter Rebeca Garcia, Paulina Gaitan, a tireless new nurse. Her past is etched with scars. Raised in a violent home, she endured her father's abuse. Now an adult, she's haunted by fragmented memories, sharp edges of guilt, fear, and suppressed rage. On her first night, Rebeca reports to Chief Nurse Hortensia, Patricia Reyes Spindola, a stern woman well aware of La Planchada's legend. Hortensia warns, follow every hospital rule to the letter. Show no weakness. Never speak of what you hear or see. Down the hall, she meets Dr. Sanchez Inacliano, his polite veneer thinly covering distaste. Dr. Zamudio, Tony Dalton, charismatic fish but with hungry eyes, smiles, then lingers too long. Malevolent but smooth, he offloads a lewd joke onto Rebeca before slithering away. Through the night, the hospital is a place of creeping dread. Patients whisper in delirium. One teen whispers about the nurse who saved me, but turned silent, a tale that chills Rebeca. Rebeca's blackboard of rules grows under La Planchada's invisible quill. 1. Don't forget anything. A faint tapping echoes as she stashes supplies. 2. Don't sleep. The patient alarms seem to hum in sentences. 3. Don't speak to staff. Even Hortensia's glance carries pressure. 4. Don't get distracted. But every corner pulses with movement. The ghost remains unseen, until the blue-white sheen of her uniform drifts at the end of the corridor, where no nurse walks. The clip-clop of heels haunts the lino floors. The air shivers at her passing. Rebeca's shift escalates into a relentless trial, a narcotic overdose, a mysterious death, a patient screaming for help, and Dr. Zamudio ignoring protocol. Each failure crushes her, until La Planchada appears behind a brittle curtain, her mask stained, her eyes full of silent condemnation. Rebeca sees her own reflection in the ghost, the same face, twisted in guilt. Rebeca hides in the break room at sunrise, trembling. Hortensia finds her trembling beside the coffee pot, black circles under her eyes. This place takes parts of you, Hortensia murmurs. Just don't give her more reasons. Head nurse, older and opinionated, reveals the backstory. La Planchada once was Eulalia, a nurse driven to madness by a promiscuous doctor. She'd loved him, he betrayed her, she killed him, and herself. Now her ghost punishes moral failures. Rebeca recoils, then recalls Dr. Zamudio's predation during her first night. She hides in the files and finds newspaper articles of that 1979 hospital massacre. Eulalia stabbed 15 staff, raped even, then slit her own throat. Eyes burning, Rebeca confronts Hortensia, not with accusations, but with questions. Hortensia confesses, "You must stop her. You're the only one strong enough." Rebeca's next night begins. She arms herself with a cross necklace, recites prayers, and steels her nerves. She patrols the hospital like a soldier on watch, the weight of her badge heavier with each step. Dr. Sanchez gets locked in a storeroom for failing to chart a drug. His screams draw Rebeca, "Walk in, help him." She does, and he flees, babbling of the stalker nurse. She pities him, then hears the single shoes of La Planchada behind him, but the ghost vanishes into the walls. Later, in the locker room, Rebeca sears an X shape into her forearm with a razor, her own blood offering, a vow not to fail again. The ICU holds the tipping point. Rebeca, exhausted, answers an emergency like a soldier. Syringe in hand, defibrillator charged. She barely registers Dr. Zamudio's invasive touch, until flashblind, she sees La Planchada standing over him, iron in hand. He jolts awake terrified, shrieking. He rushes into the hallway. A nurse's body hangs, throat slit, chest caved. Alarms fire. Red lights swirl, like hell's glow. Rebeca chases Zamudio. He lunges to stop her. She shoves him. Suddenly a vacuum opens in the corridor. Doors slam. The ghost appears behind Rebeca, face twisted in rage. Rebeca leaps forward and activates the fire alarm. Pandemonium erupts. Staff flood in. Zamudio collapses. Rebeca hears the distinct twist of bone. His head fractured against the wall. His hand clutching her arm, she frees herself. The ghost disappears. Now dawn, Rebeca stands at the end of Ward C. Broken syringes, IVs leaking, medical records scattered like the pages of a torn diary. In the center lies Dr. Sanchez, throat gaping. His last breath hisses bubbled blood. She steadies herself. The ghost emerges, mask pulled back, mouth snarled, teeth rotting. Her iron gleams. She raises it. Rebeca doesn't flinch. She recites her vow. I see you. I don't fear you. I will finish this. Her scream echoes as she runs toward her. La Planchada lunges. They collide. Metal Jared screams. Ghostly arms around her throat. Rebeca breathes, burning iron falling. In a burst of light, Rebeca pushes her down a flight of stairs. Planchada's arm snaps. She tumbles, silence falls. Morning arrives. The hospital is quiet. The wounded removed, the dead sealed. Rebeca emerges in uniform. Blood smudges on sleeve, eyes glazed, hair wild. Hortensia grabs her arms. Thank you. You've passed. Rebeca stares at a cracked ceiling tile. She's free, but part of her remains in those corridors. She smiles a sad, exhausted smile, then walks away. The camera pans past her locker. In a mirror, behind Rebeca, stands a figure in nurse's uniform, face masked. The lights flicker, fade to black.